time now for The Real Estate Connection with Stephen Theard, a realtor and certified probate and real estate specialist. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor looking to downsize, move up, or refinance, this program is for you.
A house in the middle of our street.
From probate sales to landscape design to home repairs and maintenance, this is your weekly look into all things real estate. Now your host for The Real Estate Connection, Stephen Theard.
Hey everybody. Wow, there's a frog in my throat. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Connection, brought to you by Good Patriot Realty. A salute to home ownership. I'm glad that you could join me today. It is that time of year again. Love is in the air. Valentine's Day, and not only that, Valentine's Day is next week, but this weekend is the big game. That's right, the Super Bowl. Coming at ya. The 49ers and some team from the East Coast, I forget the name of it. But we're rooting here on the West Coast for our Niners and Brock Purdy. Go, baby, go. We hope you guys win, and so we're just really excited for this to take off. But I'm getting away from myself. Hey, welcome to another episode of The Real Estate Connection. And given that this is that time of the year, I thought we would do something love related. So the topic of today's podcast is the loving gift of home ownership. That's right, the loving gift of home ownership. But hey, listen, if you don't want to miss another episode, you can check us out at, and I'm trying to find that graphic. Where is it? Here we go. Good grief. There it is. Apple Podcasts. Just look up Stephen Theard, The Real Estate Connection on Apple Podcasts. You'll be able to find us, sign up, subscribe. Hey, I want to thank all my loyal followers that listen every time we create a podcast. I want to thank you for sharing the message out there out of love for the show. All right, here's a round of applause for you guys. Appreciate it. All right, now let's get into it. All right, the loving gift of home ownership. I'm going to start it off with this, and you're going to think, what does this have to do with home ownership? But this is a really good verse from the Bible. It says, greater love has no one than this, laying down one's life for one's friends. John 15:13. Now, you may be asking, how does this Bible verse apply to love and home ownership? The pathway to home ownership is full of sacrifice, right? One must sacrifice their time, talent, and treasure to obtain the American dream of home ownership in the United States of America. It's one of the biggest accomplishments any family can attain to, especially those who are maybe first generation, who have immigrated to the United States, or maybe you've just come up out of poverty. You've pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. You've worked really hard. You've always lived in apartments, or you've always lived in assisted living, and you've made it, right? And now you've used all of you've sacrificed your time at work, your talent, and your treasure to buy a house. The first generation to buy a house in the United States of America. It's a big deal, and it's a huge sacrifice, and you're laying down your blood, sweat, and tears on the line to attain this American dream of home ownership in the United States. Now, you also may be asking, how is home ownership a loving gift? Well, that's what we're going to get into right now. Home ownership is a loving gift for the following reasons. Home ownership provides stability. Home ownership provides an inheritance for your loved ones. Home ownership builds a sense of self-worth in the family. Home ownership provides a place of rest and sanctuary for those you love. And home ownership demonstrates hard work, commitment, and loyalty for those you love. So we're going to roll into all three of those bullet points and expand on those a little bit to kind of give how much love you're actually providing through the gift of home ownership. So let's start off with number one, stability. Owning a home is different from renting, right? You do not have to worry about rents going up or being evicted out of nowhere. And if you've grown up your whole life in renting places or rooms or small apartments, and you've dealt with the landlord showing up saying, hey, we're going to up the rent $200 next month, or I'm going to evict you because I need to move my mom into this place. It doesn't feel like you're stable. It always feels like the shoe's ready to drop at any time. So owning a home establishes a fixed housing expense for the next 15 to 30 years, depending on what type of mortgage you get, right? So if you get a 15-year loan, that means you know exactly what your rent or mortgage payment is going to be every month for the next 15 years. And as you get closer to the end of that 15 years, you know that you will own your house outright, and nobody is going to walk in and tell you you've got to go unless you decide to leave. It breeds and brings about stability. It allows households the ability to financially plan into the future around a fixed cost. Right? When you're renting and you're trying to plan and invest, you don't know whether or not your rents are going to go up or how much they're going to go up by over the next 5 to 10 years. And you can try to model it or build that in, but it's really hard to know unless you are in the mind of the landlord or the homeowner, right? When you have a 30-year fixed mortgage or a 15-year fixed mortgage, you can financially plan as your income goes up or goes down, as you obtain promotions, or you get married or have children. You know exactly what that expense is going to be moving into the future. So it provides financial stability. It also allows for your loved ones to establish roots in a community, to form long-term friendships, and to invest into the lives of others in the community you live in. So you're not so concerned about how long will I be here? Will I have to move in a year or two? Will I be able to join these clubs or get involved with these causes? Can I run for office and know that I'll be in this town for the next 5 to 7 years? When you own your house, you're able to dig and plant deep roots into the community, and that means long-term relationships. This provides relational stability. Additionally, loved ones have a place of refuge from the outside world to rest and recharge, which gets into one of the other bullet points mentioned before. Now, in the second bullet point, I'm going to start off with another Bible verse because there's so much wisdom in the Bible, right? A good person leaves an inheritance for their children. That's in Proverbs 13:22. So I'm going to say that again. An inheritance. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children. Leaving an inheritance is one of the most loving things you can do for anyone, whether it's for your children, a really good long-term business partner. Maybe you have someone that's worked for you or with you for a very long time and you don't have family and you're planning on leaving an inheritance to a friend or to a charitable organization that you believe in the same you have the same belief system as the charitable organization that you've been given money to your whole life, and you want to leave your house as an inheritance to further their mission because it's also your mission. The purchasing of a home is the beginning of an inheritance for your children or loved ones. Homes are holders of value. As you pay down your mortgage, the value held with the home increases. This is a wonderful inheritance to leave to those you love. Some who are ambitious leverage the first home to acquire more properties, to create a larger inheritance, and to create future financial stability for the ones you love. And again, that can be for anyone. That can be for a family member. That can be for your children. If you don't have children, it could be for a brother or a sister. I hear of stories that you may have a brother or sister that isn't that has uh, issues with being able to get around. Maybe they were born and they can't walk, or they have an ailment, or they've acquired a long-term illness that does not allow them to work. You can build an inheritance to take care of your siblings or your parents even, right? It's just something that's loving that you can do that is provided through home ownership. And it's a gift. An inheritance is a gift you can give to others. All right. What other ways is it loving to have a home, the gift of home ownership? Family self-worth. So there is a sense of accomplishment that comes with the owning of a home. The family members share in that sense of accomplishment, as well as when they know the home that they live in is owned by the family. There's something really cool when you're a kid and you come home and maybe you've been renting and your parents say, we're buying a house, we're moving to a new neighborhood, and you know that your mom and dad own the home that you live in. There's this sense of self-worth or family accomplishment that's shared by everybody in the household. Or maybe you're the first brother or sister to own a home, and now your family members are like, wow, our family has made it. We've accomplished the goal of home ownership in the United States of America. We've fulfilled the American dream. There's just that overall sense of accomplishment in the family. And it creates a sense of self-worth for the family and a desire to maintain the level of achievement. Just as Newton's law of motion says that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, so to attaining levels of success and achievement tends to allow others around you to do the same. It just creates this momentum in your family structure, whether it's you and your wife and your children, or you and your brothers and sisters, or you and your parents or your grandparents. It creates this momentum now in the family to match it and go beyond it. What is another bullet point as far as the loving gift of home ownership? What does it provide? It provides a place of rest and sanctuary. We all of us need to have a place of rest and peace at the end of our long days. The provision of a place that is stable for rest and peace is very loving. It conveys the message of care and concern for the well-being of those you love. It also sets an example to others to be emulated in the future. So your kids are watching what you do. I've heard this all the time. It's not what you say, it's what you do around children. So they're watching you. They're watching you go to work every day. They're watching you come home, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, keep the lights on, provide food, right? It's all loving acts that you do for your family. And it's also a loving act that you will do to provide a place for them to come home at the end of the day, to lay their weary heads, a place where they can relax and be themselves, not have to be on or put on a show for other people, and to just kick off their shoes and know that it's a safe space to lay their head at night. That's a loving gift, a place of rest and sanctuary. What's the last point? It demonstrates hard work, commitment, and loyalty. Leaders are those who love others. The best leaders lead through service to others. Working hard to provide a stable home serves and loves others. Committing oneself to this service every single day for the good of others is a daily demonstration of love. Never walking out on this commitment shows loyalty to the ones you love. All of these traits are demonstrated through the act of owning a home. So, home ownership is a loving gift, and it's demonstrated through stability, through giving an inheritance for the ones you love. It builds a sense of self-worth in the family. It provides a place of rest and sanctuary for those you love. And it demonstrates your commitment to hard work and loyalty for those you love. So what could be the best gift that you could give your family this year? Buying a house. And if you're in the market and you're getting ready to make that leap, or you've been thinking about it, give me a call. Stephen Theard at Good Patriot Realty, a salute to home ownership. Let me salute your dreams to achieving the American dream in the United States of America. Let's talk about the next chapter in your life, and let's get you moving forward this spring to attaining that goal. And I want to leave you with this, because as soon as you decide to do something good, there's an opposing force called fear that tries to step in and stop what you're trying to achieve that is good. And so I'll leave you with this verse. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged by the presence of fear. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the United States of America. Happy Valentine's Day. Go out there and show love to your loved ones and your families, and especially your significant others. And we will see you again on another episode of The Real Estate Connection, brought to you by Good Patriot Realty, a salute to home ownership. Give me a call with any of your real estate needs, 408-472-0817. Again, 408-472-0817. And if you don't want to miss another episode, look for Stephen Theard on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes Radio. All right, I think that's it. Or Podbean. All right, so with that, happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and go Niners. And we'll see you next time on another episode of The Real Estate Connection.
This has been The Real Estate Connection with Realtor and Certified Probate and Real Estate Specialist Stephen Theard. Licensed Cal BRE number 017000019. For more information on this program, visit realestateconnectionradio.com. To contact Stephen directly, call 408-472-0817 or email info@realestateconnectionradio.com. And be sure to tune in next week at this time for The Real Estate Connection.